Right, the moment is finally here. I'm very excited today to be sharing with you this mini course, which is simply called The New Gold. The New Gold Income Generating Skills. We live in the world right now where skills are actually what determine if we succeed or we fail, if we progress or we keep on being stagnant. So I'm excited today to be sharing this video with you, which is a mini course for our youth, especially those who are still trying to figure out which way to take, which direction they want to take. Or maybe if you are a parent, you simply want to learn stuff about digital skills. Maybe you want to learn things that can improve maybe your productivity at work. I will be covering almost all the steps that you can take in order to either to help your child, or if maybe they can either help themselves by watching this video. And I must warn you, this is going to be probably one of the longest video that I've ever made. It's probably gonna take 1 hour, so relax, get your pen and paper, or maybe your writing pad, and take some notes. Take a lot of notes because you're going to need that. All right, okay. All right, let's move on before wasting more time, because this is gonna be one of the probably longest video, like I said. Okay, let's move on to the first slide. All right, the new goal, which is income generating skill. This is something that, like I said, we need to start looking at, and then the subtitle here is simply your step-by-step guide to replace outdated skills with high-value digital skills. Yeah, maybe you may have some skills currently, but if the skills that you have are not helping you to achieve your goals, or maybe if they are not helping you to sort of move to the next level, maybe you've been stagnant at work and you are wondering what is happening, what can you do? Because the moment you have a knowledge or have a skill that is not helping you to progress, that means it's time for you to start upgrading your skills. I usually tell my students that, sometimes in the business world, they keep on upgrading and improving their products. So similarly with us, we are our own product. So that means we need to keep on upgrading ourselves. And how do we do that? We keep learning. Continuous learning is key. And probably if you've been following me maybe for some time, you'll probably know that every time when I start talking, I talk about knowledge, I talk about skills, I talk about wisdom. So I see myself right now as something that I call wisdom servant, or skills messenger. So that's what I do. I do the research, collect the information, and share it with our children and other parents as well. And I also want to challenge you, if let's say you're a parent, you're a professional, and maybe you're interested in leaving that legacy behind, just getting the knowledge, packaging the knowledge, and then turning it into something that we can leave behind for our children. That I'll be very happy if you can do that, right? I still wish that there are things that I could not learn from my father. He was a handyman. He used to do all the stuff, around the house. He was also a mechanic. If, for instance, there's something that is broken, whether it's an electric stove, electric kettle, or whether it's anything that is electric or mechanic, he used to take those things and fix them. So, and he had his own wisdom that I wish he could have, recorded somewhere, maybe left it for us, so that even my children, his grandchildren, maybe just to leave stuff that they can start learning, because the internet and the technology allows us to do that. This is the reason why right now I'm recording this video, not only for myself, or maybe not only for my children, but for the community in general, and also for those who are interested in learning stuff, especially things that are related to income generating skills, soft skills, hard skills, the things that can help us to progress: knowledge, wisdom, and experience. So that's basically what I do. And if you don't know me, my name is Piolo Nduga, and I'll give you a little bit about me just now. All right, so why this course and who is it for? This course is basically for those who are trying to figure out which direction they want to take. Maybe you just want to increase your skills. Maybe you are working, but you want to increase your skills. Or maybe you've been staying at home, you are trying to figure out what is that you can do. Hey, we've got a new goal now. The new goal is here, and the new goal is basically digital skills is basically income generating skills, all right? The things that in other words, it's time that you start upgrading yourself. It's time that you start learning new stuff, all right? Yeah. So this course is basically for those who are looking to improve themselves, those who want to leave the legacy behind for their children. You probably know, at Light for Youth Academy, this is basically what we do. I gather the information and I share it with our children, and then also in a form of coaching, in a form of workshops, in a form of online courses, in a form of books. Because remember, Bana Barona right now, they are probably, most of them, they don't like reading. So, but they consume a lot of materials on online, on YouTube, on TikTok, on other social media platforms. So why not package it in that form and then give it to them? Yeah. So very, very important that this course address that, because it's mainly focusing on improving and developing those skills so that we can move to the next level, especially because the ultimate goal for almost every one of us is simply to make money. Eventually we want to make income, we want to make a living. So I spent a lot of time with our youth. I was fortunate to have worked with other NPOs and the other youth development organizations, where I realized that our children, no matter what we say, no matter what we do, they just want a good life. It's just that in their case, they want the quickest way to get there. And sometimes they feel like education, the traditional education, it's like it's taking long and it's wasting their time. So most of them, they don't like to go to school. So let's try and see, especially if you are over 40, let's see if we can package the knowledge, come up with some stuff that they can help them, to go to the next level, so that they don't rely on us forever. As a parent, that's not what you want. I'm certain that you don't want to have a child that will rely on you, that will be depending on you forever, Yeah, especially if you're like me. I have my daughter, my firstborn, she's now 24, she's 24, yeah. So my wish is that she becomes independent, she's got a good life, she doesn't rely on the boyfriend or on a man to for her to survive, especially financially. All right, I'm sure if you are a parent and you are at my age, this is probably something that you think about a lot, right? Yeah, so let's move on, okay? And a little bit about why this course, like I was explaining previously. During my working days, I used to ask this question. This is basically what led to me writing the book, which is called The Path to Light. This book right here that you see, The Path to Light, basically, if you want a copy, you can simply drop me a comment, and then I'll make sure that you get a copy, okay? Yeah, it's still available. The copy is still available, yeah. All right, so I used to ask myself why other people succeed and others not. Why others are merely surviving. And then for almost, I think probably 3 years now, this thing has been burning in me, trying to figure out what is that I can do. This is the reason why you see this course, which I'm so excited about. It's also, remember, it's a mini course. It's got a premium course. And then there's also a coaching program that is related to this thing. So for those of you who want to work directly with me, I'll leave some information below so that you can be able to talk to me. Maybe you just want to package the knowledge and leave it behind for your children. Maybe you can work together and see how I can help you to do that, right? Yeah, so this has been something that has been driving me to find ways that how can we help our children, all right? And then I'm also a parent, like I said, and I've been trying hard, working with the youth for the past probably 2 years now, trying to help them, through coaching, career coaching, and other stuff. So I see myself now as a wisdom servant. I collect information, do the research, find what is good, what is not good, and then share the good stuff with our children, especially our youth. And I challenge every parent that maybe we can combine, maybe we can come together and talk about this stuff and then see what is it that we can share with our children, all right? Yeah, so my love for teaching and coaching and training started while I was still working I was a manager, but then most of the time I realized that I was enjoying more of creating content, like the slides that you see here. These are the slides that I created to gather that information and to share with you out there, right? So this is where it all began. This is where it all began. Coming up with, they will give you a manual, come up with some training material there, and then share with your colleagues and maybe your team. So this is basically where I sort of had that spark to say, this is good. I'm enjoying this thing more than just managing people and managing other stuff. Yeah. So also along the journey, finding a coach also helped me a lot. Because I had my own challenges, especially about the skills. Especially after leaving the company that I was working for, I realized that I had limited income generating skills, because I had just published my book, The Path to Light, and then after some time I realized that the book is not selling. What is it that am I not doing right? What is happening here? So eventually I realized that I needed to learn stuff like marketing, advertising skills, advertising skills, marketing, selling, communication. I had to learn a lot of things, content creation, because now you remember now I'm relying on the book sales to make a living, and I realized that I've got limited skills. So that is the reason why I keep on talking about the cost of limited income generating skills. We need to start developing those skills. But parents, we need to start developing those skills, especially if you are 40. If you're over 40, let's do it. Let's come together and find a ways of how we can sort of improve those skills. The digital skills, technology is here and is not going away. So we need to start learning. For almost over 3 years now, I've been spending my time learning digital stuff. So yes, and then I'm hoping to share some of them with you guys out there who are interested. All right. So finding a coach actually helped me, because I met the man who actually inspired me, who actually changed my life, who made an impact on my life. And it was the man that I only saw on TV, and then started, making contact with him. Mr. Bishop CB, wherever you are, thank you, I salute you, sir. He actually he inspired me to do the things that I do now, then the things that I've been doing, including writing the book, right? Yeah, so in a nutshell, if you lack skills, if you've got limited skills, that will cost you a lot. It will affect you. It has got the power to affect your success. There's got the power it has the power to affect your happiness. It has the power to affect your progress. It has the power to affect your income as well. In fact, not having income generating skills, this is the reason why I call them high value income generating skills, because there has to be of high value, meaning there must be a demand in the marketplace, and they must also usually they are complex, because if it's complex, remember something, if it's complex, most of the people they are trying to avoid going there. So you find that there's only few people. Similarly to IT stuff, like coding, I still encourage our children to learn coding even up to today. We've got AI now, we've got machine learning. Those things, most of the people, the moment they think about those things, it's like they see a ghost, they don't even want to think about that. But those are the things that we need to start learning. All right, let's move on. That was a little bit about my story. Yeah, if maybe you've been following me, you probably know that I talk about wisdom, I talk about knowledge, I talk about success, I talk about experience, and also skills and the digital skills, yeah. Okay, let's move on. In the next slides, why skills are so important. I think I probably touched that. Rapidly changing economy. The economy is changing very, very fast now, so we need to start adapting so that we can be able to, be relevant to the marketplace, right? And then technology and artificial intelligence, as I just mentioned that. And then growth and contribution principle. Each and every human being, we want to contribute something. We want to grow. If you are not growing, you are slowly dying. And then part of why we are here, we need to contribute. Think of somebody who wakes up in the morning and they don't do anything. The whole day they sit down and watch television. Imagine if you are a parent and you have a child like that. Hey, that's not good, I can already, feel your pain. You've got a child that you think, okay, at least learn something. Well, sometimes because of the resources, this is the reason why I create programs like this, so that at least we can share them with our children, and then with at least, and then they are not even expensive, for access. Even now, if you look at the internet, has changed everything. Most of the information, to get information right now, is no longer a problem, right? All right, and then there's a law of sowing and reaping. This is the reason why I was saying we need to put effort. My belief is that if you put effort, if you provide value, if you keep on doing what is something that is good, eventually the market or the people you will get rewarded for doing something good over and over, especially in the marketplace. If you are doing something of value, if you are helping people, eventually God or whoever that, I'm not sure if you believe in God, but I believe in God, and my belief is that God will reward you for serving your purpose, for doing something good, for sharing your knowledge, for sharing the good stuff with others. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna try not to be long, because I know sometimes I can talk too much. My children will tell you that, hey, this one daddy talks too much, yeah, especially when I talk about the things that excites me, like this part, like this subject, digital skills, income generating skills, success, digital skills generally, wisdom, experience, knowledge. Those are the subjects that I enjoy talking more about. Performance and productivity in the marketplace. We need to produce, we need to be productive, we need to be high performers in everything that we do, so that we don't just become average. If you're an average and you're expecting to get high results, so that is like where frustration comes. Frustration usually comes from expecting extraordinary results when you're only doing the ordinary things. All right, let's move on. Okay, so about the skill success, this is something that I learned from Mr. Alex. Mr. Alex, thank you for presenting this thing to us. It's about the bridge, the skills bridge. Each and every little skill that you build, it's helping you to cross to the other side. You can see, like right now, learning marketing. Like in my case, I had a book that I wanted to sell, to make some kind of an income, but I lacked all these things that you probably see here: marketing, sales, tech. I was forced to learn technology and all these digital skills that I'm actually sharing with now. Leadership. Okay, this one I probably had while I was working at Helpom. While I was working, I think I did a lot of leadership skills and all. So each and every skill is very important. This is the reason why in my coaching program, we first start by determining the skills that you already have, all right? So that we can see what is it that we need to add on. Because you need some kind of a set of skills. Sometimes one skill can make you succeed, but usually we need more than one skill. We need to learn multiple skills so that we get to our point, to get to the other side very quickly. So imagine every skill as a brick. And then each and every brick that you lay on to sort of build a bridge, eventually you have enough bricks that will help you to cross to the other side. So that is something that I learned from Mr. Alex, and I find it to be very helpful. And then on the other side, there are three key elements to achieving a goal. So the first, we need skills. We need to identify first what is it that you want to achieve. Maybe what is the goal that you want to achieve. Once we know the goal, that means now we are able to learn and find out the things that are needed, for us to achieve that goal. First one will probably be what is it that we know about this thing? How do we get to the other side? How do we achieve that goal? And that forces us to start learning, developing those skills. And then character traits as well. And character traits, part of the example that I have here, it's self-discipline. Because you may have a skill, but if you don't have a discipline to do the things that you have to do in order to implement the knowledge, unfortunately, the law of diminishing intent simply says if it's not being used, it diminishes. I hope I said it that well. Time management, which is still part of the soft skill, but elsewhere can also be a character trait, because managing time is also very important. Laser focus. you've got a skill, but you are focusing on everything else. So that will also sort of delay you from achieving your goal. Empathy, honestly, hopeful. So you have to have hope, and then on the other side, you need empowering beliefs, believing that it is possible. I've been struggling a lot with self-doubt while I was still young, in my early days, but I realized that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some people will always talk, people will judge you, but it's fine. Whether, because people are like that, you do something good, you do something bad, they'll always talk, they'll always judge. But then I had to come up with, for me to defeat that self-doubt, I had to come up with, change my sort of belief system from limiting beliefs to more empowering. Whether I'm doing it bad is not about perfection. That's how basically I learned the skills that I have right now, digital skills and other skills that I have. I'm still struggling with my communication skills right now, but I'm learning, and I'm not going to allow that to stop me from creating this video, this online course that you are listening to right now, because I come from South Africa. South Africa, we've got 11 official languages. So we talk a lot of languages. So I'm still even struggling about my own language, which is Sesotho. Sometimes I combine Sesotho and other languages. Someone may say, hey, that's not a good thing. But anyway, this is South Africa. But the important thing is you get the message. I'm hoping you are getting the message. I'm hoping so far you are getting value. And if you do, please simply put a comment that, hey, Baba, you are doing well. Let's keep moving. Okay. So yeah, this is more about the skill success bridge. Very, very important. Those little skills that you build, eventually they will help you to cross to the other side. All right. And then some of the challenges that our youth and parents, I'm also a parent, I go through these things most of the time. Even my children, sometimes I have a chat with them, I realize that these things are affecting them. Okay, firstly, there's a high barrier to becoming a skilled professional in the traditional education. We know about that, like minimum requirements. Your child is supposed to get a C, or I think right now they talk about level 1 up to 7. Maybe they're supposed to get level 5 for whatever the course or whatever the career that they want to go for. But instead of having a symbol, what is a level that is required, let's say 5, then they got 4. So that makes it hard for them to get access to tertiary education. And then sometimes it's high fees, education, the traditional education is very expensive. We know about that. And unfortunately, and even if it's like that, it's also, there's no guarantee again that they will get the results. All right, and then the next point that I want to talk about here is default philosophy, the law of cause and effect. It's the same as sowing and reaping. Sometimes instead of focusing on the cause of the problem, we focus on the effect. The source of the problem sometimes, like it's raining, you are living in a house that is leaking, the roof is leaking. Instead of closing the leak, you keep on sweeping the floor. That is sometimes that is something that basically what we do. Pula ya nela metsi a kena ka tung, busy wa fiela. Instead of ntate kwala ka odimo ka mono metsi a kwala re tsebe hore re phela hantle. So those are the things that sometimes we need to look at. Default philosophy is simply about you are born, and then you come here. After you are born, you find a system that has been there for years. We're never taught to question things, especially our generation. You're supposed to go to school, but then we don't usually ask, why are we supposed to go to school? More especially, why are we supposed to learn the things that we are learning? It's a default philosophy. It's a system that has been there, we simply follow. You see people doing something, you simply follow without asking why they are doing it. Sometimes when you see a lot of people doing something of the same way. If you see people doing the same thing, and there's many people, maybe that's the time that you're supposed to, stop a little bit and ask, why are you even doing what they are doing? And then the other problem here is high rate of unemployment. Yeah. High rate of unemployment, that one we all know about it. People are keep losing jobs, especially because of the technology advancement. Companies are working on making more with less. If a company has got about 200 employees, they keep on trying to figure out how can they make more with 100 people, but with sometimes even 10 people, because the technology unfortunately allows people. This is the reason why we must also upgrade ourselves with the high value skills. Unconscious incompetence, this is the thing that sometimes I believe it's the one that is costing us a lot, because when we are not aware that we don't know or we lack certain competency, we are incompetent in certain areas that are affecting our life. That is very, very rich, and it's gonna cost us a lot. It's doing that even now. We have our children, even us as parents, we are being affected by not being aware of the competency that we need to have so that we can take our life to the next level. So I call it unconscious incompetence. In fact, I talk about it in my book, The Path to Light. Right? Confusion, just a little bit about confusion, career confusion, high level of stress and depression due to no personal growth. Our children are very confused most of the time because of there's too many options to choose from. This is the reason why this program is created, is structured in a way that we first, you'll see in the next slides, we first determine their interests and their values, because that is very important, so that we can align whatever the skills that they want to build with their interests, with their values. Very, very important. All right, let's move on. I'm going to try to be faster so that at least this I save you some time. But there's a lot of information here, which is why I said this is going to be probably 1 hour. I think right now it's probably 30 minutes, but let me see if I can just touch on these things. Purpose of this course, of course, I already mentioned some of these things, providing useful, specific, empowering knowledge in the digital era, alternative solutions to the current unemployment and career development challenges, identifying our children's and their potential high-value skills, and then get them ready to monetize those new skills that they developed. All right, and then the next slide here, the dream outcome here. The only thing that I wish, there's only one thing that I wish by the time we are finished with this mini course, at least they will have developed, that is high value income generating skill, at least a set of them, because sometimes you could have one skill that can make things change things, that can change things around for them, but mostly you need a set of skills. For instance, you may need communication skills, which is part of the soft skills. You may also need say certain digital skills, let's say content creation, video editing, and then maybe selling, marketing, combining those three. And then maybe being innovative, the ability to develop information products. Those type of things are very, very important. You package it in a nice way, and you are able to give yourself some recognition and help people with that skill, and then eventually maybe maybe you can be able to make a living out of that. Right? Something that I believe strongly on. Okay, so these are some of the things. If let's say you want me to give you support, maybe resources, tools, and inspiration, you can easily book a coaching session with me to work with me one-on-one. I'll leave these links below so that you can just make contact with me if you want. And then my website, www.lightfaithacademy.com, you can go there and also see what I have there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, and then so that you get more of this. And this is basically how I can support you, and then join my Facebook group as well. So those are just few ways that I can help you, maybe if you need my help, or maybe if you want us to work together, because that's another thing. So phase one will be identifying. I'm going to be a little bit quick now. Phase one is the identity stage. This is where the starting point, identifying the current skills. My belief is that, especially if you are 40 and above, I'm certain that you already have some skills or some knowledge that you can start working on or can start sharing with other people, and that can start, changing other people's life. So maybe you just want to package it, maybe in the form of an online course, maybe in the form of a digital product or ebook, and then maybe this is where we can come together and work, so that maybe I can help you to sort of package your knowledge and then find a way to leave a legacy for your children. Sometimes if you don't want to do it for yourself, at least do it for your children. Sometimes you don't want to do it for the community, for the country, or even for the world, but at least do it for your children. Or maybe if you are like me, you also want to do it for your grandchildren, or grandchildren. So yes, this is the reason there's power in writing books, like this one. If you have a book, this thing, even if when I'm no more, it will remain there, and people will still read the content inside the book and learn about my thoughts, the things that I used to do, the things that I believed in. Right? Very, very important, but let's look at that. We need to leave a legacy behind so that we our children don't regret that, hey, what, I had a mom, but I can't remember how did she cook that delicious meal. I can't remember how I don't even have the recipe. But we can package this knowledge now. The technology allows us to do that. Yeah, the first part will be self-assessment activity to identifying strength, interest, and other areas that need to be grown. That will be the step one. And then lesson number 2 will be passion and skill, to find their passion and their skill, interest, values, and skill. Because the idea is to identify their passion, identify their skills, identify their current skills, identify their interest, especially the values, which will be the next point. Just have a sip here. This ginger is good. My wife makes she makes best ginger beer. I don't know what do they call it, but this is a traditional ginger beer. It's nice. Let me know if you want to have a taste of that. I can arrange for you. I can make it happen for you. Yeah. So moving forward, we need to find passion and skill and sort of find a balance. Because you want a skill, you want to work on something that you enjoy doing. Because sometimes if you work on something that you do not enjoy, it won't take long until you give up on it, or until you start realizing that now it's not. So it's good. It's very, very important that you do something that you enjoy, because then you don't even feel like you're working if you do something that you are enjoying. Just like I'm doing right now. You see, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm excited all the time. Every time when I think of filming a video, I still have got those butterflies and then anxiety and to say how is it gonna come out. But I've learned not to worry about it anymore. The important thing is to get the message out there. I'm happy with that. For those of you who knows how to speak English very well, hey, I'm sorry. The important thing here is that you get the message. But I'm learning. Maybe one time I'll have a coach, somebody who can teach me how to speak well. Okay, let's move on. Lesson number 3, what's stopping you? We look at the things that has been stopping you, so that at least, because if we don't know the things that are stopping you, it will be difficult for you to move on. Stuff like I don't have time, I don't have resources, those are the genuine things that we may have to look at. Maybe instead of that, we may have to change the question into how can I have time? How can I make time? How can I make sure that I have the resources? How can I get the resources? Instead of saying I don't have time, maybe you need to turn that into a question. And then there's a quote there by Mr. J.P. Morgan, who would simply state that the first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you are not going to stay where you are. That is the very first step for us to go forward. Right, and that's the code. I like the code. Step number 2 is value elicitation process. So what matters most? There's a little bit of an exercise there, writing down the things that are important to you. Those are your top 5 values, and then from there prioritize them according to your preference. And then we look at the skills that you can build that will be in line, that will be aligned with your values. So that will be the step number 2. And then also step number 2, looking at things like your hobbies, interest, and then we connect them to your potential skill. Remember, we'll be identifying your potential skills. And then rearranging the priorities, I already mentioned that. Finding a balance between your values, time management, and sort of check what is it that is important to you, because it's very important that we do that, right? Okay, and then step number 3, this one is my favorite basically. This is where it all started for me, setting the foundation, personal growth. I simply call it personal development, which is my definition of personal development is simply the process of improving yourself through activities that develop your skills, knowledge, talent, and mindset to achieve your goals and at least live a more fulfilling life. I believe in living a successful life, but again, success without fulfillment, I believe, is ultimate failure. This is a quote by Tony Robbins, by the way. I feel, connected with that. You need to be fulfilled. You need to be happy inside. This is the reason why in this book here I also talk about inner peace. Having inner peace. I think for me, nothing is important than having inner peace. Because, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the resources, you can have wealth, but if you don't have peace inside, you don't enjoy your money, maybe the health is not good, the relationship is not good, because you want to get the balance, which I know is not really easy. But that's something that we are all looking forward and working towards. We are all working towards getting inner peace, building that wealth, living a healthy lifestyle, all the combination of that, spiritual fulfillment as well. There's a lot of these things, but just to touch on a little bit on this thing. And then we move on. Okay, this just to explain a little bit about personal development. I'm not going to go into details with it. Remember, I'll be providing these slides to you in the link below. You can just download the whole slides and you can read through certain things. Some of the things that you feel are important to you and maybe your children and your child. Self-improvement and personal growth. The difference between the two, you can go through, read through that. This is part of the personal development. By the way, I have about, I think, 120 slides that is mainly about personal development. Maybe one time I'll share it with you. Maybe I can even share those slides with you. And that program as well. Personal development. This is simply about, I think, our children, they know it as life skills. Life skills, personal development, same. Yeah, something very, very important. Understanding skills about life. This is the reason why I had to go through a coaching program, a life coaching program, transformational coaching program, as well as inner peace, which is about understanding your internal world. Yes, so those are the things like self-image, self-talk. Those are things that I usually look at. I teach our children to know stuff, because if you understand your inner world, it's basically you are getting control from the outside world, which is very, very key. These are things that we learn from coaching. If I were to work with you, you will realize I speak about these things most of the time, so you won't miss it. All right. Okay, let's move on. And then coaching and mentoring. These are some of the terms that I keep on talking about. So maybe if you're interested, you can just go through, read that. You can even take a snapshot right now on these things, because these are things that I talk about. It's very important that you understand the difference between the two. But just to save time, I won't be going through all that. But it's very important that you understand what is coaching and what is mentoring, because I have a coaching program, I also have a mentoring program. All right, and then let me see if I don't leave anything here still about personal. Let's go straight to step number 4. Okay, just to mention something here, capturing the treasure of knowledge is very, very important to capture, because as people, we forget, taking notes is very important. Right now, we spend most of our times on our devices. So take a snapshot, write something down, write those notes, or write some notes down, because very, very important that we do that, because otherwise we forget. Our brains are not designed to sort of store information. We need to. It's able to capture the things that are happening in the moment. But if it happens 5 days ago, especially if you are not really focusing on, if it's not important to you, this is the reason why you start first with the values. Because if something is not of value to you, you're not gonna take it serious. You see, so that's why it's important that we start with the values, value elicitation. All right. Okay, so this is basically how we get the wisdom. We capture things, we write notes, and then we learn. If you forget, you go back and for reference, you go back and check again. Okay, let me see. Step number 3, emotional intelligence. We need to balance here. Okay, I think the previous one was growth mindset. Growth mindset is very important. This is how you deal with your self-talk. Because remember, by default, the way we talk to ourselves is usually negative stuff. We usually tell ourselves negative things. Instead of you say, I can't, the right way will probably be, I can learn, or how can I learn, stuff like that. So this is a growth mindset. Instead of saying, I know this one, I'm not even gonna try. Maybe if it's important to you and you realize there's something good that can come out of that, why not try it? Why not do it? Especially if it is important. Okay, so that is the growth mindset. And then there's a book by Carol Dweck that I recommend, which is Mindset. I think I have a copy here with me. This one here, yes. This book here, very, very important. The book, The Psychology of Success, very important. It's about mindset. So we need to read. So rather, maybe one time I'll take this book and then summarize it for them, and then create it in a form of a video so that they can learn. Because the important thing is that we feed them with good stuff. Feed their mind with good stuff. All right, let's move on. Emotional intelligence. This is also very important because we are affected by how we feel. We are affected by how we think. How we think affect how we feel, and how we feel affect how we think. The things that we think about, they affect how we feel, and that leads to affecting our activity, our behavior, our beliefs. So very, very important. So we need to find a way to understand and managing our emotions, because if we feel bad, even if you've got a skill, you are not going to be able to, if you cannot get a balance, if you cannot control how you feel, even if you've got a good skill, but that skill is not going to help you because of you feel down, you end up giving up, you end up, so it's mainly about self-awareness, being aware of your surroundings, being aware all the time on how you feel. If you feel down, find a way to motivate yourself. I personally believe in discipline more than motivation, but it's always important that we teach our children to find a way to self-motivate them. They must be able to motivate them. Even us as parents, sometimes we feel down, things are not going well. It's the nature of us. We are human beings, we are emotional creatures, we are affected by how we feel. Unfortunately, that affects the things that we do outside of this world. Our productivity relies on that, our performance relies on that, everything that we do relies on how we feel. And let's move on. Phase number 2, which is now the skills foundation. This part is very long, which is step number 4. This is where I spend at least most of the time. Because remember, the coaching program is 24 weeks, but then I probably spend maybe most of the time here, probably 15 weeks, I don't know, but this is where we develop skills. This is where I apply this principle that is called the LDBH method, which is learn, do, become, and have. Because now the problem with our children and with most of us, especially parents, professionals, we usually want to have things. It's normal. We are human beings. We want to have beautiful things. We want to have stuff. But it's difficult to have things when you don't know what to do. It's difficult to have things when you don't know are you becoming, or when you haven't become anything. You still have to become somebody or something. But for us, this is kind of it starts first by learning, by having a goal. This is what I want to have, but before I have that, this is what I must learn. Develop those skills, digital skills, very, very important. Soft skills, hard skills. Attend those workshops, buy those online courses, get to YouTube, get that information. Because once you know what to learn, you know what to do. Because now you learn something, now you must practice it so that you get the results. And then eventually, if you do it long enough, then you become somebody. Maybe, let's say, for instance, you want to become a content creator, or You want to become a digital marketer. First is to learn about digital marketing, do the things, do the marketing stuff. And then after some time, you feel confident. Now you become a digital marketer or a consultant or this is the reason even if doctors, this is where they start. They start going to university, they learn for about 7 years, then they practice. This is the reason why most doctors, they feel comfortable with an experienced doctor, somebody who has already practiced. Then you become a doctor. You become experienced doctor, you become a specialist, all these other fields, all this career path. You first learn, then you do, and then you become. Once you become, after some time, you start having stuff because now you get rewarded. Eventually, if you learn something and you are doing something and you are becoming somebody, eventually by default, then by law, I believe in the universal laws, eventually you'll get rewarded for that. Okay, that is the method. Okay, so step number 4 is all gonna be about that. So like I said, I'll provide you with this slide, so it's gonna be a long. I'm not gonna go through each and every step here, but lesson 1 will be about productivity. Talk about productivity there. Talk about philosophy of productivity. Talk about high income skills definition, because this is where you're gonna spend most of the time. All right. Lesson 2, this is where I get deeper into learning, gaining the new skills, do practice what you've learned, be known for something of value. So in other words, become part is this thing that you will be known for now. Then this is where you start acquiring your desired material. Okay, all right, and then we look at high income skills versus low income skills. We look at something that I call high value skills development. So this is now the 4 quadrants. First one, you'll have a low demand and low complexity. This area is not where you want to see yourself, because there's too many people here. If you have a skill that is in low demand and that is of low complexity, because this is where most of the people will go. And then the other one is high demand but low complexity. This one is better than the previous one, but there's still challenges, because if it's low complex, that means there will be a lot of people who will be doing it. Then the other side, which is, I think this is much better, low demand. No, if the moment is low demand, that means there's too many people there, but it's high complex. But if it's high complex and it's low demand, so that means there may not be a work for it. There may not be people or companies hiring people for that skill. But because of its complex, once they've got somebody doing that person will probably be there for long. Example will be stuff like a designer or managers. Most of the companies, once they've got one good manager, they don't want to employ other managers, but it's a good skill, because managing stuff, it's still a complex, in my own opinion. Okay, and then this is the area where you want to see yourself: high demand, high complexity. Opportunities, most of the opportunities are in this quadrant. This is where you want to find yourself. So I hope I had to explain this one because it's very important. Okay, then this is about the part that I previously explained. If you want me to support you, maybe to provide you with the resources, tools, and inspiration, you can simply click on the link below this video, and then either visit my website, book a coaching session to work with me one-on-one. And then maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as maybe join my Facebook group. All right, we are almost there. Then technological skills. I've got them here, but there's a lot. These are just some of them. There's a lot of these skills that you can learn, like basic computer skills, email marketing, copywriting. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to go through each and every one, but I'll provide you with the slides if you are interested. Voice over narration, online course teaching, video production and editing. There's a lot. Online advertising, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, drop servicing. There's one that is new now, which is called drop hosting. High ticket sales closing. Very, very important when you are doing sales, because this is the area that I struggled most with selling. But I realized that we sell every day. So I have to be comfortable with selling. So that's another skill. If you are still struggling with that, make sure that you start learning about selling. If you are, get your mindset right. It's very, very important. Okay, and then about administrative skills, accounting. Every business needs an accountant, somebody who manages the finances. MS Office, Microsoft Office. I'm using PowerPoint right now. This is a skill. So there's a lot of skills here. Teamwork, computer skills, data entry, data capturing. There's a lot of these things here. And then analytical skills, very, very important as well. Research, reporting, data capturing, communication, diagnostics, troubleshooting, problem solving, even graphic designing, they all fall under this category. All right, you can read through the difference between soft skills and hard skills. Like I said, this is going to be, remember in the premium training, this is where I go fully. I think that one will probably be far longer than this one, which will probably take 20, maybe weeks, because remember, it will be available. You will just access it at your own time. But for now, this one, it's a mini course. I'm giving it all this information for free. I'm not even charging you. And even these slides, I'm going to give them for you for free. I want you guys to have this information shared with your children. It took me time to come up with these things, to package this information. But I'm hoping you are getting value of it for me, because otherwise I'll feel bad, because I made a lot of efforts to gather this information. It took me months and years maybe, I don't know, but yeah. Okay, and then moving forward, soft skills and hard skills continues, and then stuff like learn how to say no politely, because sometimes we say yes to everything and then we overload ourselves with the things that we are unable to do. Becoming a better negotiator and influencer. Our children right now, most of them are very, very fortunate. I usually tell them that they are fortunate and they are very because they already communicate well. They are able to communicate well, far better than us. I still struggle with certain ways. I still struggle to come out. My grammar sometimes is like, did I say it well? Now, but I learned not to worry about those things, because luckily right now with the artificial intelligence, you can write your own broken English, but the AI will be able to fix it for you. So there's no longer a problem right now. So yeah, that's why you need to learn. We need to learn these skills. Technology changes everything. All you need is internet and a laptop or your smartphone or a device that you can use, maybe a desktop. All right, then you are good to go. Okay, then another soft skills like communication, very, very important. I already mentioned communication, active listening, persuasion, and the negotiation, nonverbal communication, public speaking, written communication. Writing is still a serious skill. We have artificial intelligence right now like ChatGPT, where you simply put a prompt and then the whole thing, this thing write everything for you. But we still need to learn how to write. We still have to do that. Sometimes you have to take notes. Okay, and then going forward, organizing, leadership, analyzing, people management. You see, there's too many problems, but this falls under the soft skills. High cognitive skills like thinking, reading, learning, remembering. These are the very important skills that we need to take into consideration. This is the reason why sometimes you need to package your skills very well. Remember, I spoke about the bricks. Each and every brick represents a skill that will help you to cross to the other side of the bridge. Maybe your goal is to be successful in something important to you. But each and every skill that you learn will help you to cross to the other bridge. That is the previous slide that I was explaining from Mr. Alex. I still say thank you. I salute you, Mr. Alex, for providing that information. All right, hard skills. These are the things that are being measured. Usually, you have to be assessed. Maybe you write an examination to get this information. To get, maybe it's in the form of a qualification. Unlike soft skills usually self-taught. You have to teach yourself those things. You don't go to school to learn behavior, adaptability, listening. Those things usually you have to learn on your own. And others, there's a lot of soft skills, by the way. I usually say hard skills get you to the interview, but once you are inside the interview, now are the soft skills that will help you to get a job. How do you represent yourself? How do you listen? Do you listen properly? Your eye contact. How do you talk? How do you represent yourself? All those things, because now it's your ability to sell yourself. Are you able to sell yourself to the people who will be interviewing you? Those things, the employer. So yeah, if you are able to do that, you've got a combination of hard skills and soft skills, then you're good to go. And then now we've got digital skills, a combination of hard skills, soft skills, and digital skills. Hey, I usually say if you can have academic qualifications and combine that with soft skills, combine that with digital skills, then you're gonna be something else. So that's why I say there's no limit. We have to learn. We shouldn't be shy in learning. You must learn as aggressively as possible. All right, let's move on. And then another one is abilities and examples, like linguistic. These are the people who knows how to write, how to speak well. The translators, that's not my area of expertise. I'm still struggling with some of these things, especially when I have to speak. Visual, some people are visual, like actors, graphic designers. They can see something clearly in their mind and then they present it well. Teaching, trainers, coaching, and then some people have got a teaching ability. I probably have that one, but I think it's something that I'm still working on, coaching and all that. Philosophers, people who think about stuff, they do the research and they bring good information. Spiritual ability, digital ability, this is where I think I spend most of my time, because I sort of developed love with digital skills, because it has actually drastically changed how I've been doing things, made my life easy. So that's why if you're over 40 and you want to learn a little bit about digital skills, don't be shy. Drop me a code, drop me a comment, go to my website, set up a coaching session with me, or even just a call. Let's talk about this thing, because my intention is to help professionals and parents, especially who are over 40, to package their knowledge, their information, and get it out there into the world, get it out there to our children. Let's leave a legacy to our children and our grandchildren. It says sometimes when you get a sad news that somebody that you know passed, and then you realize that there's a knowledge that this guy had, and unfortunately they didn't package it well for you to be able to take it, to pass it to. You can only tell the story, but imagine if they package that knowledge. Maybe they sat down in front of the computer, in front of the phone, in front of the camera, and recorded their knowledge, and then maybe gave some staff resources, tools for other people to learn. I think that will be something that good for leaving a legacy behind. So yeah, I still feel like there are other people that this is the reason probably when they say the graveyard is the most richest place in the world, because lying there are the geniuses, people with great brains, people with great ideas, but never had a chance probably to leave those legacy behind. So me and you are probably still have got a chance to do that. So why not work together? Why not share ideas and package them? If you've got challenges with that, I'm willing to help you with that. We can just set up a call, and I'll be able to help you that. Package information like I'm doing right now. Okay, and then let's move on. We're still on phase number 2, which is skills foundation. Step number 4. Okay, this is simply about introduction to digital entrepreneurship. I believe entrepreneurship is something that we need going forward. And then digital entrepreneurship, I've got a simple explanation here. A digital entrepreneur is someone who starts and operates a business primarily in the digital space, using technology and the internet as the main platform for their venture. So in other words, they innovate, they come up with products, they sell digital products or services, So those are in digital entrepreneurship. It's very, very important, because you can develop a skill that will eventually lead you to becoming a digital entrepreneur, or maybe an entrepreneur in your own space or in your own interest, or maybe that is aligned with your values. All right, let's move on. Let me see. Okay, digital marketing, introduction to digital marketing. I already spoke about this thing. And then digital marketing, some of the concepts that are very, very key, like your search engine optimization, email marketing, social media management, video marketing, copywriting, web analytics, pay-per-click advertising, paid ads, content marketing, CRM, which is customer relationship management. So these are some of the things that that you will find. And then the nice thing about digital marketing is that you can pick one and create a career based on just one concept. That's one skill that you've learned, because it's quite broad, like I said. I was fortunate to have worked at A2, thanks to Tate Limema Kgege to giving me that opportunity to have worked there, teaching digital marketing. And then I also had an opportunity to work with NPOs like Reach Out, Dirangakagiso. I still have got contacts with children that I usually interact with. They loved this digital marketing thing. But for a course like this, I think that will help them a lot, for them to pick a skill, learn, and then move forward, and then make life out of it. Maybe create some income, generate some income out of it, and then maybe become better people, better version of themselves, and then becoming the leaders of tomorrow. Because that is mainly the ultimate. Content creation, the power of artificial intelligence, personal brand, business model. I see I wrote the brand there. It's supposed to be brand. Okay, I'll fix that one. Don't worry. Maybe when you upload this thing, it will be fixed. Don't worry. Okay, one person business. Now lately we have business that you can start on your own because of the digital skills. If you've got good digital skills and you master them, because remember, another thing of having skills is to master a skill, so that when people think about that skill, they think of you. That is very important. The other thing that is popular now, it's virtual assistant, being a virtual assistant business model. That is now being developing these skills, and then you sell them to other people. If, let's say, somebody, because now most companies, they now go for virtual assistants instead of employing people on a permanent basis, because now they are avoiding, when you employ somebody permanently, there's a lot of things that like your UIF contract, signing contracts, and permanent job. There's a lot of things that we have to go through. Sometimes the business is not doing well, but that person must still be paid. But virtual assistant is, that guy has got a skill. You give them the task, they deliver the task, they get paid. Is that, if you say it's a project, because meaning they work based on project. That's something that I've been doing in the past few years or so, working on project. If I have a project, I work on it. If I'm happy with it, I continue with it. I'm not happy. But the nice thing about this thing, you learn a lot from this thing. So thanks to the people who I worked with up to this point, and I'm looking forward to going, to working with others who are willing to work with me, especially in the digital space, in skills development, and in packaging knowledge and wisdom in the form of digital product like online courses, ebooks, and coaching programs. If, let's say, you want to develop a coaching program, I can be able to assist you in that regard. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, I think we are about to finish now. Okay, so this one will just be about, which is step 5, the dream outcome. What skills should you learn? We go through all that so that we are able to know learning methods. What are the learning methods that are available out there? The 4 stages of learning, which I talk about in my book. Very, very important. Execution stage. This is where now we have a plan. We develop a plan. We come up with an action plan. We set that goal, and then we sort of find strategies that can work for you to eventually developing that income generating skill, so that at least it can help you to move forward. This is the reason why I call this in the new gold, because I realize it has changed my life, and it will keep on changing other people's life, I think, going forward, for as long as you are willing to do the thing that's supposed to do. And then the other one, which is lesson 4, turning expertise into profitable digital products. This is where now I challenge other parents. If you're a parent, if you're a professional, if you're an expert in a certain area, especially if you're over 40, even if you are younger than 40, but you have an expertise that you want to share, this is one of the skill that you can develop, turning your expertise into profitable digital product. So yeah, if you want some assistance in this regard, let me know. I'll make myself available, and then we can work together in that regard. The idea is to package it well, make it as profitable as possible, make it as valuable as possible, and then share it with your children, your community, and the people out there. If you can reach the world, it's even better. Okay, so efficiency is doing things right, and effectiveness is doing the right things. That is a quote by Peter Drucker. I hope I said that well. All right, going forward now, step number 6, we are about to finish now. Step number 6 is gaining recognition, which is now, remember, you got the knowledge, now you've developed a skill. Like I said, step number 4, that's where we spend most of the time. So now you have developed a skill. It's time for you to get recognized. People must know what you are doing. In other words, this is now what are you known for, the thing that you'll be known for. And how do we do that? We build a portfolio. People are still using resumes or CVs. I mean, in South Africa, we talk about the CV. Is it curriculum vitae? Curriculum vitae, yeah. Well, these words, man, man. Curriculum vitae, but you get the point. Okay, so monetizing our skills that we have learned. But before we monetize, we have to get recognition. People have to know what we are doing. In other words, that thing that pushed me to end up doing what I do now, not being able to market my book, not being able to sell my book, not being able to get the message out there, advertising. So now it's very important, because now you've developed a skill. People have to know about your skill. People need to know that you are able to help them with 1, 2, 3, 4, all the things that you've learned. So eventually, if you give them value, the market, has got no color. If you give value, if you do what is good, if you do it to the best of your ability, eventually you'll get rewarded. This is where skill monetization comes in. So you see these words, if I talk slow, I tend to say them well than when I talk fast. All right, so creating a portfolio, and the best way to create a portfolio is you can create a portfolio. I've got an example here. Maybe if you want, I can show you. Maybe if I work with you, I'll show you the example of that portfolio that I speak about. This is now recording everything that you've been doing, whether in a form of a picture, images, text, video. But the important thing is now you build a portfolio, and then you share that portfolio with other people, specifically if you can do it in a form of a video. It's even better, because people believe more when they see somebody than when they just hear or they see your CV. This is the reason why portfolios and that has been similar to proposals that have been sent by video are more effective than something that is written in text. So then you can share it probably on LinkedIn or Instagram or even YouTube. If let's say you want people to know what you are doing. Okay, very, very important at this stage, step number 6. Okay, and then the last part, let me see. Okay, this lesson number 2, selling your skills. I already spoke about that. Packaging your knowledge. Already spoke about that. Selling your skills. Okay, the last section here, which is lesson number 3, is that something that I call the AAA method. You act, you assess, you adjust. Firstly, you act. Act means you sell your skill. Secondly, you assess. Assess means what worked and what didn't work. So you assess, and then you make some improvements when necessary, which is now the adjust, make improvements for next time. All right. So work hard in silence. Let your success be the noise. This is a quote by Frank Ocean. Okay. Right. Let me see. I think we're about to finish now. Step 7, which is the last part, is only taking action now. Now you are taking action. Your action plan, remember we set the goal, you've got an action plan, we worked on a strategy, now it's time for you to do your part. All right, and then, then you track your progress. See if you're getting the results, and then you build a routine. Build a routine means now you have to make sure that this thing becomes part of your life. At least spend 15 to 30 minutes every day to build your skill. making sure that you do what you're supposed to do. A goal without a plan is just a wish, so we need to take action on those goals that we set, because we already have a plan, and then because otherwise it will just remain a wish. Similarly, an idea without being executed, without being put into work, it remains an idea, and eventually it will diminish, because remember I spoke about the law of diminishing intent. The law of diminishing intent states that if it is not being used, if it's not being put to work, it eventually diminishes. Everything is like that. So including our brain, including, if you've got a burning emotion to do something, and then you don't do it, eventually it will fade away, right? Okay, so yeah, I think we reached the end of the mini course now. So just a few things to say. Firstly, thank you for being here, for reaching this stage with me. I know this was a long video, but I hope you got value from this video. I hope you got something that you can take out there, share with your children, share with others. And I've got only a few things here for support. Maybe if you want me to support, maybe you want me to work with your child to help them with the thing that I was talking about here: personal development, digital skills, income generating skills, long term. Let's look at long term coaching, providing them with support, resource, tools, and inspiration. The easy way for you to get hold of me is you can simply book a coaching session with me one-on-one, or you can even, just make a call. On my website www.lightfaithacademy.com. There is a WhatsApp number there that you can contact me on. Then maybe for inspiration, or maybe other valuable content that I'll be creating, or that I have already created, you can just subscribe to my YouTube channel, and as well as join my Facebook group, where I'll be sharing stuff going forward. Yeah, with that said, your digital success journey starts today. Thank you again for being here, and especially for making time to listen to this video. I know it was very long, but if you want to work with me, you now know what to do. Or if you just want to get hold of me, or maybe you just want to hop on a call, you know exactly what to do. Thank you for everything. Let's keep on helping our children to achieve their goals, especially to becoming better versions of themselves. More importantly, to become the future leaders. And then as well as helping ourselves as well to package. Remember, let's package that information. Let's make it in terms of let's create it in a form of a product and share with the world. We share with our children, share with our grandchildren, share with our families, and leave the legacy behind. With that, thank you very much. Until I see you on another video. Bye bye. Cheers.